Have you ever spent hours studying only to forget everything the next day? You're not alone, and the good news is there's a smarter way to study. What if I told you there are simple science-backed techniques that can help you remember faster, better, and for longer? Whether you're preparing for exams, a big presentation, or learning a new skill, these memory hacks will change the way you study forever. Stick around, because hack number 5 is a complete game changer, and I've added a bonus tip at the end that most people don't even know about. The first technique is called active recall. In simple words, this means testing yourself instead of just rereading your notes. Why? Because when you force your brain to remember something without looking, it strengthens the memory. Most people read a chapter, then read it again and again, but that doesn't help much because your brain is being passive. With active recall, you do the opposite. After studying a topic, close your book and try to write down everything you remember. You can also ask yourself questions and try to answer them from memory. Each time you do this, you're training your brain to retrieve information, and the more you retrieve, the more it sticks. So, stop reading and start remembering. Active recall is like a gym workout, but for your brain. The second technique is called spaced repetition. This method is based on a psychological principle called the spacing effect. It simply means reviewing information at set intervals instead of cramming it all in one night. Here's why it works when you review something just before you're about to forget it. The brain stores it more deeply. So instead of learning once and forgetting, you keep reminding your brain at the right times. Here's how to use it. Study a topic today, then review it tomorrow, then 3 days later, and again after a week. Each time you review, the memory gets stronger and lasts longer. You can use apps like Anki or Quizlet to schedule your reviews automatically. Spaced repetition saves time and makes learning more permanent. The third method is called the memory palace technique. This method is based on a concept in psychology called spatial memory, the brain's ability to remember locations and visual information more easily than abstract facts. Here's how it works. First, imagine a place you know really well, like your home. Now, take the information you want to memorize and mentally place it in different parts of that space. Let's say you're trying to remember 5 historical dates. You could imagine one date written on your fridge, another stuck to your bedroom mirror, and another lying on your bed. When it's time to recall the information, you simply walk through your house in your mind, and the images will trigger the facts. It might sound strange, but it works because your brain loves visuals and locations. Try it once, and you'll be surprised how fast your memory improves. The fourth method is called chunking. Chunking is a well-known concept in cognitive psychology. It means grouping information into meaningful sections, so your brain doesn't get overwhelmed. On average, your working memory can only hold about 7 things at once. But when you organize related information into chunks, it becomes easier to store and recall. For example, instead of trying to memorize 10 random dates in history, group them by decade. Or if you're learning vocabulary, group words by theme, like food, emotions, or travel. This gives your brain structure, which makes learning feel less chaotic and way more effective. It's like organizing your notes into folders instead of having them scattered all over the place. The fifth and final technique is one of the most powerful. It's called teaching to learn. Psychologists call this the Protégé effect. It simply means that when you teach something, you learn it better. Why? Because when you explain a topic out loud, your brain is forced to reorganize the information clearly and logically. This helps you spot gaps in your understanding and fill them. So how can you use it? Simple. After studying, spend 5 minutes teaching the concept. You can teach it to a friend, a sibling, or even just an imaginary student in your room. You can also record yourself explaining the topic and then listen to it later like a podcast. This technique transforms passive learning into active, deep learning. It's not just about knowing the material, it's about owning it. If you use even one of these techniques, you'll notice a huge improvement in how much and how fast you can remember. Now it's your turn. Which hack will you try first? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss another brain-boosting tip.